Hey, what's up, people? Man, I gotta say, that was a pretty decent card. That's one of those ones I call interesting. It wasn't the thing that blew you away. Sorry, let me move here. Wasn't exactly like one of those cards that just really like blow you away. Like I've seen in the past or something. But it was an interesting card, and it was it had some good fights, some good finishes. But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. John Jones and Rashad Evans. Uh, Now, I don't like Rashad. I wouldn't piss on him to put out a fire for the way he's been fighting. I did like the Tito fight, and I was okay with the Phil Davis fight, but the Tiago and the Rampage fights just kind of just put a bad taste in my mouth with all that crap, but that's a whole nother video. But just to put out that, never really been a big fan of the guy from those kind of fights. And plus the way he's just been really playing Gossip Girl this whole year, talking about John Jones and doing all this. But despite all that being, I was glad to see him lose. But I think even then, I was still, even when I'm rooting for him to lose, he still finds a way to disappoint me. And that's what I found disappointing in Rashad is, like, dude, man, where are the takedowns? I mean, you was talking about in the press conference or something like he couldn't find a right one. Okay, you don't want to force a takedown, but you'd rather just sit up there and stand at distance with a guy who stands like a foot taller than you. I mean, he's got like 2 feet of reach on you, and you want to sit there and stand outside his zone or something and go kickboxing with a guy like that. And even then, with the boxing, one thing that's impressed me with Rashad, ever since his move to from the Jackson camp, and, training with Imperial Athletics, and forgot who his striking coach was. I mean, he has shown improvements in his striking. I mean, he's had some good moves in the clinch with Tito, some good combos against Davis. He showed some very good striking in these. But in this fight against John Jones, he looked exactly like he looked right before, he left Jackson's with those. Yeah, he has a lot of power. Yeah, he can wind up that big hook like he did against Liddell. But unless you're Liddell and it's just going to wade in, you're rarely ever going to be there for that punch. So he showed the limited repertoire that he showed, you know, before. He showed the limited repertoire that he had, back in the day with Jackson. And it's like it just, and even then, he just failed to just do what he does best, wrestle. Use that speed, use that explosiveness. I mean, the couple times he did go for takedowns, he just basically a little more than just lowering his head and like taking a couple steps forward. I mean, that was like to say that was half-hearted would be a huge exaggeration. Um, overall, John Jones did what he. John Jones, I think he was kind of thinking the way I was. He came into that fight showing a lot of respect for Rashad. I mean, he didn't really commit to a lot of stuff. Usually when he throws that elbow, when he throws the spinning elbow, when he throws the knee or something, there's no hesitation. That's what makes it so dangerous. Because he will just throw that knee. He's going to go full force, throw his heart into it. In this one, he kind of just kept it easy. Took it easy. I think he kind of pulled on a couple of them because he was afraid of the takedown. But Rashad just did not do anything. And towards the last couple rounds, you saw John Jones start to play around, hop up and down, just mess with them. Throw those like jumping shoulder punches. I love those things. Those things are funny. First saw those with Henderson, which he may be fighting next. Segway. But anyway, uh, like I said, Jones did exactly what he needed to do to win. Um, I thought he may have. I thought he was going to try to finish him, or I thought he was going to finish him at the end. But like he said, altogether, just another elite light heavyweight outclassed by John Jones, and it's like got us all scratching our heads, wondering, it's like, who can beat this guy? Who can challenge him? I mean, and there's almost literally nothing left at light heavyweight right now. This is uh, so a lot of you guys that's been watching me for a long time, you know how I feel about Anderson Silva. From what I'm seeing from Jones, that does kind of remind me of Anderson Silva, the way he is just laying this division bare. and it's just and you know, it's like you used to. I remember when he fought Shogun. I got like I was. I kind of remind me of like the Silva versus Hendo fight, where it's like, okay, we're finally gonna see how good this guy is. Only this fight that was supposed to be the great challenge ended up being just as dominating as the other ones. So it's like, that's the question: who can challenge John Jones? Is that challenge even at light heavyweight? You know, there's been a lot of chirping about him going heavyweight. I don't know if he should do that. See, I like champs in their own weight class. If you're gonna just dominate them, just stay dominant. Just burn that place down until the day you retire, or until somebody beats you. But who knows? Um, Now, John Jones has been a huge, you know, very polarizing figure to say the least in MMA. A lot of people love him, a lot of people hate him. There's very little in between. Uh, a lot of people cite his cockiness for their reasons for dislike, or his fake attitude, or this, that, the other. I don't know. Me personally, when I see John Jones, of course I've always liked him, but the thing that I dig about John Jones, I think what I first liked about him was that I think he was a great athlete, has a lot of great physical skills, some very unique skills that I haven't seen before. You know, just as in his from his body type to just his talent to all the things he does in the ring. You know, just all the things he's capable of. A guy with that kind of athleticism usually chooses a different career than mixed martial arts. Usually in America, mixed martial arts is probably the last resort. You know, it's like people who didn't make the football team. When you're wrestling, I mean, when you graduate from school and your wrestling scholarship's gone. I mean, it's this is usually the last, resort. But I think for him as an American athlete, an American mixed martial artist, making this his first sport, decided to make this his living. Putting his energies toward that instead of making it that. That's what kind of impressed me about Jones. Another thing that impresses me about Jones personally, just seeing him talk, I know very little. I don't really dig too far into the quotes. I think my boy Carson, he was talking about like that Muhammad Ali comparison that he made about himself trying to surpass Muhammad Ali. Yeah, it's a kooky thing to say, but the let me see. Sorry, losing my thought there. Is he has a stupid thing to say. At at thanks. See, no, I hate it when I get tongue tied. It's a stupid thing to say. It's a stupid thing to say. But despite how dumb that may sound, look back to all the things he said. Talk about he's gonna destroy Shogun just like everyone else. He wants to be the first person to finish Rampage. Uh, yeah, some of the things he may say may be bizarre, but at the end of the day, the kid simply does not put a cap on his potential. And and that's the thing. You see a lot of kids with great talent, in other sports or something that kind of squander it away, thinking this is going to last forever, getting caught up in the money and the status that just suddenly fell into the laps. You can tell by John Jones' every performance that he works very hard and he puts everything towards winning and towards improving as an athlete. He puts in the work, so I find what he says to be very forgivable because he's trying to make his dreams come true and he's trying to push himself far past his potential. And a lot of things he's done has a lot of things he's in his efforts to push past that potential. He's become just a great, more dominant figure in mixed martial arts, and I think in some way an inspiration. Maybe not a Muhammad Ali, but definitely noteworthy and worth giving the kid a break. Just a said good fight, good night, good times were had by all. I'll probably head back to you with some other stuff on the card. Talk to you later, alright?